and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla and I am the owner of I Could Make That But, which is a small business that sells crocheted plushies and other small crocheted items, and I'm so glad you're here. In today's vlog, we are starting with a Friday night, and we are going to do kind of a market prep vlog for over the weekend to see how much I can get done for next week's market. I'll also show some of the stuff that I've already made this week after work, and see what else we can hopefully add to inventory. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely grab your own crocheted project or your own other hobby project, and let's jump in. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely hit that subscribe button and the like button so you can see more content like this. All right, here we go. I'm still testing out if I like this mic. I've adjusted it to sit on me instead of me holding it this time. We're going to see if the quality is any better. Jury's still out. I might also switch to, I have some without a windscreen protector, and I'm wondering if that will come out clearer. So we might switch to that kind as well. Okay, I grabbed the other mic. I'm going to test to see which is better. But we are currently in my room, which is where all of the yarn lives. I'm going to start with some of the stuff I made this week. So I discovered a new pattern by Cable and Canvas, who makes the bigger popping mushrooms that I make. Well, they apparently also have an itty bitty pattern for them, and I found it on their YouTube. I'll link it down below. But is this not the cutest little thing you've ever seen? And it pops. So it's really cute. I tested to see whether or not I wanted this on a keychain or not. I'm still 50-50 on it. Right now they're not. So I can keep the price point kind of in that $5 range because they're super easy to whip up. And so I think for this next market, I'm not going to put them on keychains, and we'll kind of see how it goes. So this is the first thing that I made, and then I made like 10 of them this week. So there's a lot. I also made more scrunchies. I have 2 more in my bag I have to grab also that I finished today. So good, we're adding to those. I made 1 more mini octo keychain. So I have a bunch of goals for like next week, and then the rest of my markets, because there's a total of 3. I kind of made a spreadsheet with goals for inventory for each thing. So I needed 1 more octo keychain to be where I want to be for next week. And then I made 3 more regular mini octos. I have to start whales. I started a cat, like a regular loaf cat, because I only had 2 more to make to get to my inventory goal for next week. And I was kind of over making a lot of the small things. I made a lot of small things. So I decided to switch to something bigger. So currently downstairs I have half a cat that I have to finish. I have yarn for another cat, and then I have yarn for chicken nuggets because I'm completely out of those. So I think I might do that for a little bit, figure out what I want for dinner, and then I think post dinner I'm going to bring down a lot of yarn to the living room just so that I have it easily accessible. This weekend I happen to be in this house pretty much by myself. So on those types of weekends, I tend to take over the living room a little bit because I'm the only one that cares. So it's also just super helpful when I'm trying to do a big like inventory push. And so this weekend's definitely going to be kind of chiller, in terms of just trying to get as much inventory done and not doing much else, honestly. I am thinking about a potential Joann's trip tomorrow. I don't know. I also know I have Michael's rewards. Always a dangerous game. So I think also bringing down all of that yarn will kind of help visualize. And then when I compare that to my goals list, which I'll go over too, I think it will put me in a more realistic mindset of what I actually want to do shopping wise. So, all right. So I'm going to go continue crocheting the stuff downstairs, and I will check in with you in a little bit. Okay, so we're checking in. It's later than my last clip. It's now almost 8 o'clock, but to be fair, I had dinner. I had over an hour phone call with one of my friends, so this guy was a little bit more delayed in getting finished. So, oh my goodness. We have Halloween lights outside, so that's the flashing purple behind me. I'm not like being arrested or anything. I just feel like I need to call that out. But anyway, so this guy is all done. All right. So I think for the rest of the night, I know I said that I was going to bring down yarn. But I think I might move that to tomorrow. And I think I'm cutting out the Joann's trip because my bank account's not like looking like the hottest right now. And I'm pretty sure when I bring down all the yarn I have, like for all this prep, I'm going to have plenty. And I think I just need to see it to confirm it. So I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow. So I think for the rest of tonight, I'm gonna work on chicken nuggets. I have the chicken nugget yarn with me. This is the Big Twist. Oh, geez, I don't know what color, but it's like this like golden a color. It's like that skews a little bit more brown in person. I use this for my chicken nuggets, so I have that with me, and then I have this gray for just a regular loaf cat. Now I do know that I only have one more loaf cat to go before I'm fully in the gray on my spreadsheet, but my toxic trait is doing the most, and I realized that I don't have a black cat, and that would be nice to add to this group. So I might be adding another pink to the loaf cats, but we'll see. But that won't be a tonight thing. I think I'm gonna work on chicken nuggets next. I haven't done chicken nuggets in a while, and it's kind of like it's an easier pattern, and I want to make 6 of them. So if I can start that process, that would be nice. I'm bringing back pickles for these last couple of markets. I haven't done pickles for a while. So I need to do that. And I need to do stress balls because they were such a good seller for me for that other market. And I think they're going to be a really good like stocking stuffer idea or other like small like gift. And so those also need to be a priority this weekend. A lot needs to be a priority this weekend. I should probably stop talking and start crocheting. But I might check in again tonight. I have to be up till midnight because it's October and my cousin doesn't get home till midnight. So I'm the one waiting up for her. So Um, I'm up for at least 4 more hours anyway, so I might as well be crocheting. But yeah, yeah. Very curious about how this clip's gonna come out with this microphone. I really, really, really hope I'm not blowing out the audio, but we will see. All right, I'll check in soon. Hello, good morning, almost afternoon. We are now on Saturday. Clearly, the lights changed. Um, but I've been up and I've been crocheting since probably like 9 this morning. I'm gonna apologize now because my voice is real rough today. I think it's because I just like woke up and I was like just so congested. And this is after me like trying to get to a place where I can like talk without like not like stop like breathing because like I've gotten like so congested. I'll start talking and I just like feel like I can't breathe. So that's been fun. A real just like 10 out of 10 experience. But anyway, so I was hoping that like some of that like morning stuff would clear up before I actually started recording because now it's about 11:30, but I will show you what I was able to finish last night and then what I've done so far this morning, and then we'll go into why these bags are here. So, fun. All right. So last night I was able to finish a chicken nugget. You had seen the loaf cat, and then my like thumb right here, like this like tendon like started like really hurting, and it was probably around like 10ish when I finished this guy, and I kind of just like called it like for the night. I ended up still having to stay up a little bit longer, but I didn't want that to start hurting more because there's just so much I want to do this weekend because it's actually like a free weekend for me. So I want to take advantage of it. So I was like, you know what? Friday night, we're just going to call it there. We did the loaf cat, we did this. That's fine. And I'm proud of myself for giving myself that grace because I woke up this morning and my hand feels a lot better. So we're rocking and rolling. Since 9 o'clock, I was able to make 3 more of these guys. Um, so that's wonderful. And I had on my spreadsheet that I wanted a total of 6. Now I'm up to 4, but I ran out of my regular ball of this yarn, and then I had 2 like leftover balls from previous skeins, and they're this size that might together make 1 more, but I think I'm going to need another skein of this yarn. So I'm just going to put this to the side for now, and we'll be good with the 4 of them for now. Because I have this one too, and we'll kind of see if we get back to making the other 2. But I think 4 is good. They're these, like I said, I'm sure in another clip in another video, chicken nuggets are super hit or miss whether or not they sell. When they are like on fire, they're on fire, and they like I sell out, which is what happened last weekend. And then other markets, I'll have however many I have the whole time, and like they always get comments about like them being cute because they are, but they don't necessarily always get bought, and so yeah. So we'll see for this next one. I don't think I've said it yet, but the market I have next Saturday, so a week from today, um, I don't know how busy it's going to be. This is my first time doing this market. I don't actually know. I think they've done it before. It's another local church, and just the timing really worked out. The booth fee was cheap, so I figured I might as well give it a try. So I don't know like how popular it is. I pass that church almost every day, at least once, and they've had a huge sign out since the beginning of October for this market. So like over a month of it being out. So it's not for lack of trying that they haven't put this out there. But So it might be like super, super busy, and that would be great. It just might be a regular type of busy. It could be kind of dull. I'm preparing for anything. So but that's why we're trying to crochet as much as we can this weekend and then obviously the week leading up. But like I said, I think last night, I don't know, it all runs together. Those are just like some goals for inventory. It'd be really nice. And I am trying to look ahead to my two big ones towards the end of November, beginning of December. So again, if I just have extra stuff prepped for that, I'm not going to complain. So behind me I brought down all my bags of yarn. There's still some yarn still up in my room. I didn't bring down any of my acrylic yarn. This is only the like chenille type and Bernat type of yarn. And I want to go and put it all out on my couch so that I can see what I have and kind of just be pulling from that all weekend. I might bring down more if I need it. I left a lot of like the variegated kind upstairs, like the kind that I more use like for like squids or monsters. I'm thinking I'm not gonna do anything that big today because I want to try and get like a decent amount done. I also brought down my new pack of stress balls that I have not touched since I ordered them in like the middle of September. So I ended up getting the bigger pack because it was on sale and I figured they'll just be good to have. So I definitely want to prep some of those today. I think I'm going to, I was previously putting in the small 8mm safety eyes. I might see how it goes if I embroider the eyes instead, because then I also don't think I have to put in as much polyfill, if any, because I was really putting in the polyfill like behind the safety eyes, like because they come, if you've never used safety eyes, they like come to a point, like they're like little plastic piece, and I was kind of putting polyfill in between the stress ball itself and the eyes, just so that like the eyes wouldn't puncture the stress ball. So if I embroider the eyes, then I don't necessarily need to put in polyfill, and that can save a step. And also, that was the polyfill was what was making it annoying to get the stress ball into the yarn covering. So, some things to think about. I don't love embroidering eyes, but it would make sense to do so. So yeah, so I'm going to next put out all of this yarn and then try and make kind of like a plan of specifics that I want to make today. I think we're officially like done with chicken nuggets today. I think I'm going to call it there unless I find more chicken nugget yarn in here, but I don't think there is. But I guess it's I will organize so we can see. So let's go. Roll the montage. Okay, so here it all currently is. At least what I brought down. I did realize that I forgot to bring down one other skein. I know, could you even believe? But that's for later, for when I need that. But So let's go over how this is organized, because I swear there's a method to my madness, even though it might not look like it. But over here in this tall stack of white are all the different whites that I use for, honestly, anything. So the underbellies of whales, the pop mushies, now the tiny pop mushies that I have, all of that goes there. Actually, that's a lie. The tiny pop mushies uses that yarn, which I do have more of. That's from Amazon. When I got like the pack of 3 that I also use for bee wings. So that's actually the skein, the other one that I forgot to bring down. But these go like under all of the bigger items that need white. That's all there. Okay, so then over here on the rest of this arm and this row right here is all parfait chunky. So you can tell also, like being right here, this is a lot thinner than this, which is the Sweet Snuggles Light. So that's why I personally kind of like to separate them, because depending on the project, if I want the same like thickness throughout, I want to know what colors I have available here versus here, which is my Sweet Snuggles Light pile. That's kind of rainbow-ish. I don't know if you noticed, but we have plenty of blue. So I should probably be making blue things today. Um, then underneath this light pink actually is, this is the Sweet Snuggles, the regular, and I think that's also a similar size. That's actually the yarn I use for pickles. So I figured if I brought it down here, maybe I would use it and maybe I would make pickles. So those are there also. So then this is more of like that like softer chenille type. And then we move into the Premier Basic chenille, which is a closer feel to Bernat, which spoiler is over here. But it's not like as soft as the Parfait Chunky, but it's really, I like working with these. Um, I clearly have colors I need to restock and colors that I definitely don't in this brand, because I really like using this yarn. But I have plenty of like the pink and the red and that purple color. And then I have some light pink, I have orange, a couple blues left, and that purple. These I will mix in with Bernat, depending on the item. So this is my Bernat collection, is on the actual seat of the couch. And within that are also some patterned ones that I use for cats and cows. So I have those there. I have that used for like turtle shells. I have a whole nother skein of it upstairs. I'll probably end up making a squid out of it eventually. Um, and then these two are the big twist plush, and they end up being a little bit bigger almost than the Bernat. Like if I like compare, it's slight, but like I can kind of tell. So just like with the Parfait Chunky versus Sweet Snuggles, I kind of pick and choose what I mix them for project wise, because I don't want like the sizing to be like super off. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at, what we're working with today and tomorrow. All right, so I just watched that clip back, and there's no audio in the part where my mic died because I had the adapter in, so that's a bummer. And also that means that I don't know if the yarn tour behind me fully recorded, because my mic was dying during that as well. Woo! All right, so I'm gonna re-record this clip because my audio cut out of the last video because my mic died. So basically I was rambling on, so it's actually good it got cut, because the Reader Digest version is, I'm gonna look at my sheet of what I have to make. I was saying I have plenty of yarn here. I'm really proud of myself because I'm really trying to like bust my yarn stash and use what I have. I haven't really done any like big like shopping trips. I do think probably after this prep, I will have to put in an order for just some, just because I am low on certain things, which is fine. But I don't mind doing that. But I definitely want to only prep with what I have here for next week's market, at least. So yeah. I also in that last clip apologize for the audio because some of this audio will be mic'd, some of it will not. Luckily, there's not a ton of outside noise in either case because I'm inside my house. So that's helpful. But I'm just going to apologize now. I'm going to apologize for how my voice sounds stuffy wise. Hopefully for next week's market vlog, this is all cleared up. Wouldn't that be great? So here's hoping. But yeah, so I'm gonna jump in to do that. I might also eat lunch because it's now a little past 12, I think. And so I think I'll probably do that. And yeah, and we'll see what we can get done today. I am happy that I've already gotten 3 things done. And I brought down this yarn. Those were 2 goals. So check and check. So we'll see what else we can do today. We have lots of time in the day. So we'll see. Okay. I'm going to stop talking. Here we go. Hello. All right. This is a 4:15 check-in. We've or I've it's me. I've been working on some of the bigger things. So I made a pink crayon, and I was about here when I realized I usually do the inverse of this. I usually do dark as the crayon color and light as the wrapped color, but that's okay. And I have a lot more of this hot pink than I have of this light pink, so I think it came out fine. And then I need a teal popping mushroom. So that is what we've made in these last couple of hours. So now looking ahead to the rest of the night, I could make another one of these. I might. I wanted to make a total of 4 before next Saturday, and they don't take that long. They take me like, I think like 45 minutes was what I guessed. And crayons take me a little bit over an hour. I do still want to make 3 more of these also. So, but my question is to myself, to me, do I go and like alternate like a couple small, like a couple whales and mini octos, popping mushroom, like the itty bitty popping mushrooms, and then alternate it with like a bake thing so that I have more to show at the end of the night. I don't know what I'm going to be happier with. Right now I have these 2 skeins of yarn next to me so I can whip up a whale pretty quickly. So I might do that. I know it's only a little bit after 4, but I do want to start to make like a dinner plan because I'll probably run out and get food and then come back. So I'll probably do that soon. Yeah, and I'm also staring at this box of stress balls. So I can also potentially make a teal stress ball because again, the teal's right next to me. I could do that. I don't know. I'm very clearly all over the place. I will say, really proud of myself. I've been keeping up with a TikTok today that I wanted to make about like what I made today, kind of a thing. I've made that kind of TikTok before, and it does okay. So I'm actually keeping up with that. So happy about that. I was able to use the rest of a ball of this color of yarn and a ball of this the hot pink color of yarn. So um that's good because again, the goal is to get some of this stuff down so then I don't feel as bad when I buy more. I'm getting really close to the end of this teal color that I have. So actually doing the whale and stress ball will help accomplish that. So it's looking more like I'm going to do that. Uh, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah. But that's my check-in. I nothing too crazy. Uh, but we'll see. I also have to remember I also have tomorrow. That's nice too. So I'm trying not to like think like, oh, like you don't have to do that much because you have tomorrow also. But I'm not gonna beat myself up for if I don't get a lot more done. I'm just rambling at this point. I really am. So I will cut this video here and I will hopefully check in a little bit. Bye. Okay, so we're back with a 7 o'clock check-in. And I've eaten dinner. I went out to do that stuff and I came back and I used the rest of my teal yarn. So I made this whale actually before I left to go get dinner. So that's done. I did make a stress ball and I embroidered the eyes. Now this eye is clearly bigger than this eye. So we're getting to a better spot with these, but that's okay. I just kind of wanted to see how it would come out. So that's that one. And then I played Yarn Chicken with this mini octo and I almost won. Looking like this, it looks fine, but there is a hole right there. So what I will probably end up doing is I'll probably take acrylic yarn and just kind of like try to invisible stitch up the bottom so it's not super obvious because essentially this is done like it is, it's just it needs to just be closed, so that should be easy enough to do. And then that means I got rid of another skein of yarn. Yay. And yeah, maybe I'll check in again once more tonight. We shall see. Sorry for this very random clip. Ooh, my tripod's also deciding to be dumb. Okay, we're gonna cut here. See you soon. Good morning. I did not check in again last night. My bad. It just got to be too late. But I will go through what I made from last night and then what I've already made this morning. It's about 10:30. I've been crocheting for about an hour, I want to say. But yes, so last night I was able to make a blue axolotl, and I just have to fix the gills a little bit. Um, so there's that guy, and I was able to make a purple crayon. So 2 crayons yesterday, which was pretty good. I will say overall yesterday I was really happy with how much I made. I think I made like 10 items of varying sizes. So definitely a successful day. So I started a new bag down here just to make things easier. But this morning I have been able to make a bee so far. So we've had one bee, and looking ahead for the rest of this day, there are errands that I definitely need to run. There's chores here I definitely need to do. All of this yarn needs to get back upstairs. So, and through it all, I will also be crocheting more. And we'll kind of just see what we get done today. I'm happy I've already done one plushie. That's great. I have confidence that I can do probably at least 4 more today in between everything else, if not more. I'm considering maybe doing smaller stuff today, so whales, mini octos, stress balls, which means I can get more done. But yeah, so we shall see. But I will check in again soon. Hello. It is now Friday night before the market. I haven't decided yet if this is going to be part of just the market recap vlog or if I'm going to do a market prep vlog. I ended up only really getting footage from last weekend market prepping. I have been market prepping all week also, but I just haven't really vlogged it because I'm learning that I'm not great at vlogging on weekdays. And so, again, we're going to try and get better at it. It's about 5:30. We have almost made an entire crayon. Here she is. Beautiful. She is beauty. She is grace. I need to finish that one and then also make a blue one to complete that set. Last night was Halloween, so happy belated Halloween. And I spent the night crocheting because on brand, because I have a market tomorrow. And so basically, I took out all my inventory last night and really looked at all the colors, everything that I had, and made a much more detailed list of what I'm hoping to make for tomorrow with the knowledge of where I'm going to cut some things probably. I'm going to stop rambling because I need to be prepping. But I will check in a little bit, probably when we go over inventory. And I'll do kind of just like a general overview. If you've watched my videos before, you've seen a lot of this stuff. I remade a lot of stuff that had sold at my previous market because that one I sold out like half of my stuff. So I've definitely been remaking and refiguring. I don't think I have anything brand new this time. I'm trying to think. I don't think so. So yeah, so we'll go through that. But I'm gonna be crocheting for now. I did order my dinner. If you've seen previous videos, you'll know what it is. Because we're not gonna buck tradition now. And yeah, but yeah, and then we'll check it in a little bit. I'll also in a little bit go through kind of like just general expectations of this. And yeah, so I will see you soon. Good morning. Happy market day. We're packed up in the car. If you can kind of see behind, there's all the stuff. Um, I know, I never checked in again last night. I just kept working and things got kind of crazy and I didn't go to bed till after midnight, so that was fun, and then I couldn't fall asleep, which was also super fun. But I was able to make I think made 5 or 6 mini octos. I did one regular octo, I finished that green crayon, and I made a hot pink popping mushroom. I was also able to update my inventory list, and I have a bag of yarn next to me with some of the other projects that I wasn't able to do last night that I'm hoping to kind of prep while I'm there. Um, I think I get set up at 7:30. It's 7:20 right now. We're gonna go through Dunkin' and then go there. It's only like 5 minutes from my house. So, and I kind of want to be a little bit after 7:30 just because I'm really confused about this whole thing. So I don't want to be the first one there. So my goal is to be there for like 7:40. I can definitely set up within an hour. So that part I'm not worried about. But yeah, so hopefully I will take clips during the day. Hopefully I will take clips during setup. Again, I have no idea what this is going to look like. So I don't know how practical that's going to be, but we will definitely go over everything at the end. Expectations. Let me do that real quick. The stable fee was $35, which is not bad. And so always our initial goal is to make that back. So 35 back would be great. When I ran the numbers, I have about $1,250 worth of inventory with me today. So half of that is $625. So I think a realistic goal for this market would be 400. I think that's probably going to be our goal. Would love for it to be more, but I think that's going to be our goal. But we will check in. See you soon. Hello, and welcome back to After the Market. As you can tell from the exactly 2 clips that I got of setup and breakdown, I very clearly couldn't vlog during this market. And there was a reason. Where we were, I was on the second floor of this like church hall situation, and there were 5 vendors up on my left on the same level as me, and we were all extremely close together. Like you heard everyone's sales, you heard everyone like interacting, like you, and moments where people didn't come upstairs were dead silent, which is where I would have realistically updated what was going on. And I was not going to pull out my tripod slash microphone slash everything because I was just like really close to my vendor neighbors. So we'll talk about it here. Apologize for that. I do think at the vendor fair at the end of this month, um, usually there's a little bit of distance in between, so I might be able to kind of check in a little bit more. This was just it was a tight space, but we'll go into all of those details after. But here we are. I'm actually doing this recap on the day of the market, which is crazy. I will say a huge reason for that is because this market only went till 2. It is currently almost 5 o'clock that I'm doing this, but I was able to break down by honestly 2:20. I think I was driving out of the driveway. I was able to run one of the errands I needed to run. I was able to grab food. I've been eating the food. I've been running the numbers. All of this stuff that usually when markets are a little bit longer, I'm kind of just like exhausted and burnt out at the end of it. So I just don't want to do a recap right then and there. I don't feel as exhausted as I normally do, which is nice. But because markets do take a lot of energy, it's a lot of social energy, it's a lot of just you're trying to sell yourself and your product to a lot of people you don't know, and it's an overwhelming experience, but it's one that I was happy was over at too, you know. Okay, anyway, so this was at a local church in my town. All 3 markets I have for this holiday season are in my town, and I was talking to my cousin today when she came and stopped by to like relieve me for a couple seconds. Was I am a little worried that I am keeping everything not just in my town for these 3 markets, but in a very small radius of space. Like this church where I was today was about 5 to 10 minutes away from my house. I think I said that this morning when I was in my car. The venue is a high school at the end of this month, and that's generously 5 minutes away from where this current church was today. And then my last market of this season shares part of a parking lot with the high school. So that I'm doing my vendor fair at. So like literally like everything's like in like this small bubble. Now granted, last year I did this high school, elementary school back to back, and they were my 2 best markets. So I'm not like that worried in that respect, but I definitely could have diversified a little bit more location wise this holiday season. But all in all, it is what it is. I've said in other videos, this is why we try different markets to see what works, what doesn't work, and areas that work and don't work. So for this market in particular, I was the only crochet vendor, which was nice. It was a smaller, much smaller kind of holiday fair. They had a tag sale in their basement, which, as always, I've said in other church recaps, tag sales usually don't bode well for vendors because you're getting things a lot cheaper that are used items as opposed to handmade items. So you don't know exactly what you're competing against in terms of donations. So that's also why I feel like a lot of the booth vendor fee is lower for churches, because they are accounting for the fact that there's going to be a tag sale. I do think that some churches take that into account. So this booth fee today was only $35. So, which is not bad. It's my cheapest of the holiday season. So that's good. And so the vendors I was around were not thrilled there was a tag sale. Now, that wasn't a secret. That was very well advertised that there was going to be one. Um, Even like before like signups for this went out. So it was kind of like, okay, like I understand. I understand the frustration. I've also been frustrated by tag sales in the past because some when people donate literal stuffed animals and kids are getting it for 25 cents, it's harder to compete with that profit margin. Did know going into this fair that there was a tag sale, so I was kind of prepared. Anywho, but yeah, so that definitely was a bit of a damper. Another damper was we were on the second floor. So that meant that people that were coming, a lot of people that were coming for the tag sale. And so that was in the basement. So when you entered, you had to go downstairs to get there. So that's where a lot of people's first move was, especially when the fair first opened. And that's typical. I've been to a lot of different church fairs, and then when there are people lining up for the doors to be open, they are always lining up for a tag sale. They are never lining up for the vendor fair. Like, I can pretty much guarantee that if there are people outside waiting in line, they want the bargains and they want the best bargains first. Pretty standard stuff. So one of the vendor neighbors was like, "Oh my god, there's a line," and I said, "That is not for us. They might come up to us after, and that'd be fantastic. That's what we hope for. But like, I just want to like curb any expectations here, people. Like, they are all going downstairs, just so we are aware." So that is what happened. And then they would come up to the back to the main level, and the basement there was also food. They would come back to the main level, and there were probably 6 vendors on that main level. And then if they read the signs, and there was also someone down there selling them, there were vendors upstairs, and there were 5 of us. So there were 11 vendors overall, and not everyone made it upstairs. There was a lot of either here for the tag sale, got the stuff, peace. There was here for the tag sale, I have to exit through the main entry anyway, so I might as well look at these 6 tables, and then deuces. And then there were a decent amount of people that said, "Hey, there's stuff upstairs." Sorry, I had to clean up storage on my phone. We did that. Found random old videos that I never posted but should never be posted, so deleted all those. Anywho. So what was I saying? Okay, so some people then came up to us. So now there were definitely some people that like climbed the stairs, kind of took a quick glance, and then went back downstairs, which is a bummer. But a lot of people did walk around. I would say that we probably saw, I mean, honestly, between 100 and 200 people through our section. So Not the greatest, not the worst. Apparently would have been better if we were on the main floor. But, you know, it happens. It's fine. I will say, I think one of the ways that this market could improve is that if you want to be on the main floor, you should be able to pay maybe a little bit more. Um, but I do understand it's also kind of a luck of the draw situation. I also don't know. I did not go down to the basement, so I don't know how big it is. But if they did vendors down there and the main floor and kind of eliminated another set of stairs, maybe. But again, I don't really know the size of the space, so just some random things that were coming out of my head. But yes, so we definitely didn't see everyone that came through, but we did see a lot of people. Um, and I will say the coordinators were really good about pointing people up the stairs. And then if they didn't want to come up, like that's their prerogative, but at least they were being told that there were vendors upstairs, which was nice. So that's a little bit about the market itself today. We'll go into kind of like will I do it again situation towards the end. But let's get into money and actually what sold and all the things that you are here for. So I brought 129 items to this market and I had the potential of about, I think I said $1,250 of inventory for this market, which was less than I wanted it to be. But if you could tell from my setup, my table was very full. So that was good. I did want to be closer to that 2000 number, but overall, I'm okay with what I brought. I also, while I was there, I was able to make a blue crayon and a gray cat. So that actually added, so I had 131 items by the end of the market that I had brought. And that would have added on 40 bucks. So I've been just shy of $1,300 at that point of inventory. So not bad. I also did a thing where I only put out one color each of the octos and the scrunchies, and I had multiples of those. And so I kind of kept a basket behind the table so I could replenish those colors as they sold, which was the first time I'd ever done that. Because I didn't want my table to look too crowded, and I think it probably did a little bit. It was a little bit overwhelming. I think for, well, the market at the end of the month, I hope I get 2 tables, but I'm going to have to figure something out if I only get one, which is fine. The last market I have, I paid for a spot that gives me 3 tables, like in a regular market setup. So that one I'm comfortable with doing because that's going to be very similar to my setup for outside markets. So it's really just this end of the month one that's going to be a little bit of a, well, what was it going to look like? But for a 1 table setup, I think it looked decent. I used a lot of different levels, which was helpful and allowed eyes to go to a lot of different places. And then I ended up actually moving my chair next to the table instead of behind. I'm usually behind it because I couldn't be seen because of just all the height. So luckily there was no one like right next to me, like where it would have been a hindrance to put the chair. So I did that, which was good. But anywho, so sales, and I brought over this stuffed animal, or I brought over the plushies so that you can see based on what sold. Um, I will also do my best to put patterns on the screen somewhere. And yeah, and I didn't sell out of any of these items, so I actually have examples of all of them, which is exciting. All right, for my bees, I came with 5 and I sold 3 of them. Here they are. I sold 2 yellow and 1 pink. So I have a yellow and a purple left. I have to make more rainbow ones for the next market. I think I said that in my recap to my last video, and then I didn't. but I'm saying it now that I need to make more rainbow ones. This is a Crochet by Jenna pattern, and it's on her YouTube channel. So it is a free pattern. I do think she probably also sells a written version in her Etsy and her website, but I just used the YouTube one for this one. Next were the loaf cats. I originally brought 5. I made another one while I was there, so I had 6 total, and I sold 3 of them. This is the Annie Caraway art pattern that you can get on Etsy. It's the very, very popular one, the one that originally went pretty viral. Loaf cats still do super well for me, and I usually have them in a just variety of colors. Today, I have like a like orange red mixed Bernat yarn that I use. That one sold. My black and white speckled sold, and I think another, oh geez, like brown, the really pretty like brown variegated type of yarn that I got from Joann's sold. So yeah, it always depends on the color, like on the people for what colors are going to sell, because they generally try and match it to as close to their own cat as possible. When they buy it, that's more often than what happens. I did not have a black cat for this market because I just didn't get around to making one. Those also usually do really well for me. People like black cats. Then mini octos were one of my best sellers today. They always are. These I sell for $5. It is a YouTube tutorial from, I believe, False Bubbles. Is this tutorial. It is a tutorial that also comes with an option for little like ear tentacle things. And I just don't do those. Not tentacles. Antenna. Jeez, lilies. But yeah. So these, they're easy, they don't take long to make, which is nice. And I think I brought 20 and I sold 5 of them, so pretty okay. The turtles, so these are the Tink turtles. This is a paid Etsy pattern, and I don't remember who it's by. I'm really, really, really sorry, but I will put it right here, I promise. But this is a paid pattern, and I had 7 of these coming in. They were actually my leftover 7 from my last market. I didn't have time to make any more of them, and I sold 1. So I still have 6, which is good. I will make more for the last 2 markets. Whales, I came with 9, and I sold 2. Whales usually do a little bit better for me, but that's okay. I'm not mad to have leftover because it's less that I have to make. Frankly. But this is it all from Jade pattern. It also whips up pretty quick. I also sell these for $5, even though there is a color change. But just because of how fast they take to make, $5 just seems like an appropriate price for me personally. When I went through the math, obviously, price how you feel comfortable to price is always what I say. I famously have said that I hate pricing. It is my least favorite thing about owning a business because I feel comfortable now with my prices, but getting to this point has been a long road. All right. So then axolotls. I had 6 of them. Yes, 6 of them with me, and I sold 2 of them. I'm actually very surprised I still have the pink one to show. Because my pink is usually the first to sell because it does generally look the closest to a real axolotl. If you didn't know, axolotls are real animals. They live in the water, and they are popular because of the Minecraft game, is what I was told by a 10-year-old boy, and I believed him. And also, kids think they're cute because the real ones also, they smile, but they are like this kind of paler pink color. So usually this is one of my first to go. Today it was a teal and a light blue that went. So you just never know. I usually do make my axolotls in like different rainbow varieties. generally speaking. Then, oh, this is a Crochet by Jenna pattern. This is a paid pattern on her website, and I think I got it off of Etsy, but it's also, I believe, on her website. Then the pop mushies. These are always popular. I brought 6 of these, and I sold 3 of them. This is the cable and canvas paid pattern on their shop on Etsy. This particular one is the Sammy Spore. The I believe the pattern set comes with 2, and the other one looks closer to that Mushy Boy one that you can also find on Instagram. But I really, really like this pattern. I like that it's a larger silent fidget. I was sitting right next to them on purpose because I generally will say at least once every 5 minutes, and they pop too. It's a silent fidget, which is so great because fidgets are usually so loud. Literally, I say that over and over and over again. um, so 3 of these sold. Hanging flowers, I'll put a picture here because I forgot to grab them. But they are the things that you can hang in your car around your rearview mirror, or as I tell anyone anywhere else, you can hang them. And one of them sold. So I brought 3, 1 sold. None of my ghosts sold. They were on the same display. So my ghosts are retired until next year. So sorry to them, but it happens. Then I had made 4 chicken nuggets for this market, and one of them sold. And the individual who bought it literally came up to my booth, said, "I need to have this chicken nugget," handed me $12, and went on his way. And I went, "Okay." To the point where I was like, "Are chicken nuggets going to fly off the shelf?" No. It was the only one that sold, but still an exciting thing that it sold. Then, let's see. 2 more types of items sold. I sold 2 Octo keychains. This is the same false bubbles pattern. I just use a slightly smaller hook to make it more keychain size, and then put the keychain in it. So I had 12 of these, and so I sold 2 of them. I also had whale keychains and loaf cat keychains. The loaf cat ones I only had 2. And then the whale ones, I think I had 6. How many? I had 5. I had 5 whale ones. So those didn't sell, which is fine. I'm learning that keychains aren't as popular as I thought they were going to be. So that's fine. And not even just because they are more in price than their other version. Because that was what I originally thought. It's not that. They're just not as popular as I thought they were going to be. Just people don't gravitate towards them. It's not like they go to those first and then go, "Oh, these are cheaper." It's literally they just kind of look at them and they're like, "That's nice," and then they'll look at something else and potentially even buy something more expensive than a keychain. So good to know. We'll see if that trend changes. We'll also see if other keychains might do better, because who knows. But the real MVP of this market were these new itty bitty pops that I made. This pattern is also from Cable and Canvas. This one I found on their YouTube channel, and I'm so excited I did, because look how freaking adorable. And these are super, super easy to make. I sell these also for $5. And honestly, I could probably up it to 6, but I don't know if I'm going to. Um, to be determined. It also depends if I can get stress balls back out for the last 2 markets, because I have been working on making more of those, but I just haven't given enough time to make them. So to myself, it's all me. It's this is 100% a me problem. But that's why they weren't at this market. And so this is a smaller, even smaller fidget. It's so cute. I can't even. So I had 9 of these to start and I sold 6 of them. So I have 3 left. I have 2 of these green and then 1 yellow. And I think they could have sold out if the colors had been different. Honestly, these were big when they were the other things that were next to me, and I showed that you could do this, and like that's really sold people. They really liked these. So definitely recommend that pattern. All the patterns that I currently use, I really do like. You can see in past videos where I've sold more things, and I've also gone through some of the stuff that didn't sell in other videos. So if there's a pattern that like you saw on the table or anything, or like plushie, definitely comment down below. I'll let you know. I will let you know right now the crayon pattern because that is my number one question. Here they are. It is from Nut Monster on Etsy, and it's part of a back to school bundle. I also did get a comment on one of my videos that apparently there is a Kindle version of that pattern that if you have, I think it's the Kindle app. I'll put a correction here if I say it wrong. You can actually get that pattern for free. So in some cases. So that's pretty exciting. But that is definitely a very asked about pattern. I said in my previous video that I tend to see either cats really go or crayons really go. My last market, it was my crayons. I sold 6 out of 8, and I had sold like 1 cat. And this time I sold 3 out of 6 cats and no crayons. I had 6 crayons with me. So it depends on the crowd. The crayons will probably do well for me my last 2 markets this year just because they're both at schools. So there's a lot of teachers that shop and a lot of people that are looking for teacher gifts. And so that's usually where crayons do really well. So yeah. But money, let's go into it. We had on my Square Reader, we had $12. On Venmo, we had 40, and then in cash, which was number one this market, we had $218 for a total of $270. Like I said in the beginning, the booth fee itself was $35, so that's a general profit, not counting taxes, materials, all of that, for $235. So not terrible, definitely not my best, but for church markets, I definitely kind of lower expectations. I know I said in my car that I had a goal of $400. Who's to say if I was on the main level that could have been hit? I don't know. We'll never know. But I think that people that were interested in my booth more often than not did end up buying something. I did have a lot of smaller stuff go, which is normal for me. I I definitely always suggest as one of the market tips that when you're thinking market prepping, stuff of this size where you can feel comfortable marking for under $10 are definitely going to be your best sellers because this is what parents can usually justify if they are shopping for a child who is with them. Because that's also what happens a lot is that the yes, it's great to think of gifts, but oftentimes the child that they're trying to give gifts for, they are with. So then it's harder to buy maybe the slightly bigger thing you were going to get them because they are right there. So these types of things definitely go super well. I also everything. Oh, actually, my tank turtles I do for 8, so still under that $10 mark. And they usually do a little bit better for me. I think it was their placement. I really need to play around with placement. They weren't always seen And that's completely on me, 100% on me. So I kind of have to play around with that. But all of these guys that also had sales today are 12. So my stuff that takes me somewhere around an hour, I do charge for 12. I do know that there are people that charge more, and that is completely fine. I know that there's probably people out there that charge less. Honestly, I find that $12 for these items works well for me. So that's just a lot of trial and error, a lot of kind of math to figure out what made sense. And these guys and the crayons I sell for 20, which is a good price point for them. What else do I have on my table? I have this different specialty bigger items that are like 30, 35. I have the dinosaur for 50. And then, oh, the other thing that didn't sell at all are my regular size octos, which are Crochet by Jenna pattern on her YouTube. They're just basically a bigger version of this. I sell those for 10. It's real hit or miss if those sell. If I have a lot of mini octos, those generally aren't selling a ton. I also only had 5 of them, and they were kind of the weirder colors in comparison to other colors I usually bring, because I did not prioritize prepping them just because I had so many other items that I wanted to prep. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that they didn't sell, but those are a $10 mark. But everything else, I think, sold at least one item besides like the specialty stuff. So I'm pretty great with that. So would I do this market again? Slash, what did I learn? Probably, I would do this again. I think the price point was okay for the table itself. Like I said before in the beginning about just being on the second floor, I think that probably did lose out a few sales. But I don't really know how you fix that with the space that they have. Churches in this area, I'm in New England, they're older. So you kind of have to use the architecture that you're given. And a lot of times these churches were built in like the 16 or 1700s, and they were not thinking an open concept plan for vendor fairs. Weird. There were 2 other fairs in my town today. A lot of people were jumping around between the 3 of them, which is nice. I did have my cousins stock the other 2 to see if one of those might have been better to be at. And she agreed that this one probably did make sense. The reason why I'm not 100% like, yes, I'm going to do it, is I have to look at my 2025 schedule in general. There's a couple of like bigger things I want to be able to do next year. So a market like this might not be as viable just because I can only crochet so much. So I kind of have to figure out where I'm putting all of that. But that will be a whole separate video of my potential plan for 2025. But yes, so it's not a no because of the experience. It's a potential no because of what's coming next year, which is exciting. So, in terms of learning things, I definitely learned how I like to put, if I only have an 8-foot table, what works display item wise, what I might want to change for next time, especially in regards to the turtles. Even the axolotls did not get as much love as they normally do. I think they were too high in terms of like where kids' eyes are usually. So I think I might have to flip some stuff around there, which is fine. Totally fine. The lighting might look slightly different because I got a phone call and had to go run to do something for my cousin. So it was an hour detour. Anyway, I was basically saying that churches are a good jumping off point. A lot of them have holiday fairs or just general fairs as fundraisers. So definitely to consider a church as a good starting point. I think for reals, this is where we're going to end this. This is probably going to be a fairly long video. As if you've made it this far, you know that, and thank you so much for making it this far. I personally do like a longer crochet video because I like crocheting during it and kind of not having to stop my project to change videos. I do kind of like that. I also do kind of like videos where you don't necessarily have to be staring at me the whole time so that you can focus on your crocheting. You can just kind of like hear what I'm saying and look up when you want. So if you like that too, definitely let me know in the comments below. Definitely, if you have any questions, any clarifications about anything, let me know. We now have a solid 4 weeks, I think. I think it's like 4 weeks until Thanksgiving. Um, to prep for this next market, or these next two markets that are going to be very large. So I will do my best to do at least one market prep vlog in that time, because this market prep footage that was going to be its own vlog has now morphed into this video because I failed a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. We are trying to be more consistent. I also want to thank you for all the new subscribers. So excited that you're here. Definitely, if you want to be one of them, hit that subscribe button and that like button. It helps out a ton for more content like this. And if you would like to, you can follow me on social media. I'm trying. I'm really trying to post. But I have an Instagram and a TikTok. Both are at I Can Make That Butt. And then I also have a website where I sell some of these adorable creations. And that will also be what is hosting the plushie drop for in the beginning-ish of December. More details on that soon. But that is at, or no, not at, it is www.icanmakethatbutt.com. So definitely check out anything there that you might want to purchase for any holiday gifts or a gift for yourself, because you deserve it. And with that, we are going to end this very long video. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!